Hey, how's it YouTube? We are here. It is Med Conference weekend, and we brought out all the stops. We've got all the coolest things. I'm here with Walt from TacMed Solutions. He brought Diesel, which I'll let him talk about here in just a little bit. And I'm here with Erin, who is our resident vet. I'll let her introduce herself here in a second as well. But what we're doing right now is we've been filming a whole big season of app content, which is basically all about, like if you couldn't guess it, trauma in canines. Oh, that's right. This is my favorite part. Thanks, Walt. I appreciate that. Please bring out those perforated intestines. Right? What are you going to do if you see that? If you don't have an answer to the question, you need to actually watch the app content.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. Walt, Diesel.
So my name's Walt Nichols. I'm with TacMed Solutions. We developed and we sell and market canine Diesel. He's got 28 medical features, interchangeable limbs. I can take the bad limb off, put a good limb on. He's rugged, he's durable, he's meant to be used outdoors at the point of injury. Let those dog handlers, let those first responders work with the most realistic mannequin in the canine realm.
This is his blast mouth, which is pretty insane as well. All these insane features. We're just going through all the different treatments. Again, we talked about the March assessment specifically because, again, a plan is a commonly understood basis for change. We need the overlay. You have no idea what kind of trauma you're going to come against, and you're not going to treat what you can't find. You can't find what you're not looking for. Knowing what the causes of preventable death are and actually being able to go through that is more important, probably, because I can improvise the tools, right? But if I don't find the opportunities to use them, then it's not going to do me a whole lot of good. We got to highlight some of the specific products that TacMed Solutions bring to the table, like their canine tourniquet.
The Elias bandage.
And the Elias bandage, which, if you haven't heard, is the Cadillac of pressure bandages. Don't let anybody tell you differently. I'm going to go ahead and let Erin talk about herself and what her background is and why we jumped into the March assessment.
Hi, I'm Dr. Erin Tragesser. I'm a veterinarian who has experience working in emergency settings and with working dogs. Today, as Nate said, we went over the March assessment as it pertains to canines. So some of the things that are in the March assessment are the same for humans as they are for dogs. Some of them are very different. For one of the M's in March for dogs is muzzle. You want to make sure everybody on the scene is safe so that they're able to take care of the patient adequately. You also want to address massive hemorrhage, whether it's from an intestinal wound or something like this. Have the tools to stop the bleed. Third M would be move. Move the patient to safety, move them to an emergency hospital so they can get a higher level of care. After M, we go into A for airway. How do you assess an airway in a dog? How do you clear the airway in a dog? Also, respirations. What's normal breathing for a dog? What do you do if they have any type of injury to their chest that is making it so they cannot breathe normally? Then C for circulation. How do you assess circulation on your canine patient? And how can you improve circulation if that circulation has failed? And then finally, H for hypothermia. If they're going into shock and they are cold, how do you keep a dog warm? What are the areas you want to focus on for active warming? As well as head injury. What do we look for to indicate that there is trauma to the brain from a head injury? How do we keep them in the safest position until we're able to move to a hospital?
So, that was going through the whole assessment, which is not that dissimilar from the way that we would do this for humans. Knowing, though, I think even the tools that we pack are a little bit different than the stuff that we would pack for humans, but most of it is a lot of the same chest seals. Tourniquet's a little bit different because the canine tourniquet works down to a much smaller diameter because you've got different breeds of dogs with different size legs. Other things inside of a dog trauma kit that you would put in?
Yeah, so I think having some type of tourniquet is important. So whether you have an actual tourniquet or even just lengths of rope, have like a leash that you can use for an improvised muzzle or to occlude an area. Have gauze, lots and lots of gauze. Have something to be able to wrap different areas of the body. How big is your dog? If you need a wrap around their chest, how much of that material do you need?
So Erin, would it be beneficial to have a razor in your canine handler kit or your kit to be able to shave the fur to get things to stick better?
That's a good question. I would say don't waste time trying to shave hair.
Okay.
If you have, say, a penetrating chest wound and you want to apply a chest seal, instead something that's very fast and easy is you can take some petroleum jelly, some Vaseline, smear it over the area. That way there's no air escaping in all of this fur, and place that seal over top.
Okay, thanks.
So that's trauma in dogs, but one of the things that we want to talk about before we go is some of the other things that eventually we'll get into here, but it's relevant for you right now, which is, hey, summer's coming. What are the things that you see a whole lot of people bringing their pets into the vet because of hyperthermia versus hypothermia?
Yeah, so I would say in Utah, especially in the summer months, that's one of the major things we see coming into our ER hospitals is dogs that have heat stroke or hyperthermia injuries. You want to make sure that if it is over 70 degrees outside, you are cognizant of your dog's body temperature. They can overheat very rapidly, whether they are out hiking or if they are stuck in a car. So during the hottest times of the day, between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., do not vigorously exercise your dog. Do not leave them in the car because you could cause hyperthermia.
One of the things that we have for humans is I have like a tilts test, right? I have a way, sometimes that I can try to measure dehydration. Usually the rule is just like, hey man, you're probably dehydrated. What would you do to maybe check your dog to see if they're getting dehydrated?
Yeah, so if you want to see if they're dehydrated, one thing you can do is skin tenting. Dogs have an ability to pull their skin up, and then if it doesn't recoil immediately, then they may be dehydrated. If it just stays kind of pinched and tented, that could be abnormal and that could indicate that they're dehydrated. Another thing that you can do is you can assess their capillary refill time. So you can look in their mouth. Is their gum color nice and healthy pink? If you press it and release, does it come back to be pink very quickly? Or is that area kind of really dark red? Does it look muddy in color? That could be an indication that they're dehydrated as well.
Super cool. Hey, this whole season is full of a bunch of useful tips. I haven't done any canine medicine since Swap Medic way back in the day, and it was teeny tiny, super specific. So come check out this fun season that we've got of Walt, Aaron, and I talking about canine trauma and all the things that you might want to do to be able to handle care for your dog in the worst case scenario. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later.